Hey people, I'm going to try and do this quick because there's a lot of stuff here but only 15 minutes to do it in. I picked up on something and I decided that I would run with it to see what I can find. And my question through this whole thing that I show you, and something for you to think about while I'm showing you all this other stuff, is who the fuck is the enemy that they're getting ready for? What kind of an enemy is that? Is it the people? Is it we, the people on this earth? Are we the enemy that they're training for, exercising for? Are they going to mix up the militaries of the world so that no one particular country has gone into another country, but the people can't say that, well, it's their own turning on them? I really don't get it, but the only question that I've got through all of this is, with this amount of exercises, who the fuck is the enemy? This first one here, US military has curtailed another major military exercise, Defender Europe 20, which has been anticipated to be one of the largest US drills in Europe since the end of the Cold War in response to the coronavirus outbreak. It is just the latest major exercise to be discontinued, curtailed, or postponed due to growing concerns about the pandemic. Forget about the pandemic factor, okay? Movement of US military personnel in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East has also been placed under increased restrictions to help prevent yada yada. If you want a better explanation of the particular exercise, I suggest you go to Wikipedia, because obviously on here, and like every other friggin' site, it's all that corona pushing bullshit, right? But what I'm looking at is the exercise, okay? So after reading this, okay, I get down here and it tells you several other drills that were linked to the larger exercise, including Dynamic Front, Joint Warfighting Assessment, Sabre Strike, and Swift Response, will not be conducted according to the statement. There is more of them. The decision to cancel the remainder of Exercise Cold Response 20, if you go further down, there's one in Africa that's called, where is it, something Lion, down here. And also major exercises with Israel. Key joint military training exercise in South Korea was cancelled. What are these exercises for? If we're not expecting a mass invasion from Lord knows where, what is it that they're expecting that they need all of these exercises like there isn't anything better to fucking do? Let me go to the next one. Exercise Defender Europe 20, Enablement and Resilience in Action. Now this is an interesting one. Very long, okay, so I can't get through it. But this is an interesting one. If you're not going to read the rest of them, at least read this one, okay? US-led multinational exercise is the biggest test of NATO allies' ability to support large-scale movement of forces across the Atlantic, mainland Europe in recent years. Diverse civilian and military actors have worked closely together to enable the unimpeded deployment of forces by air, sea, road, and rail. Lessons learned with further strengthening Allied readiness and resilience in a challenging security environment. And then it goes on to explain more and more about it. Very, like I said, very interesting as to Cold War exercise such as, look, another one. These exercises are all over the fucking place. All over the place. And it's all got to do with different countries in alliance with NATO. And I'll show you just so that you can see. Dynamic Front. Exercise Dynamic Front was a multinational exercise conducted by the US Army in Europe that is designed to improve allied and partner national ability to deliver long-range fires capabilities. Approximately 3,200 participants, 27 nations took part in the operation during the live fire portion of Exercise Dynamic Front 19. Look at the countries, including representatives from Azerbaijan, Bulgaria, Canada, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, France, Georgia, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, North Macedonia, Montenegro, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Turkey, Ukraine, United Kingdom, United States. That's the Dynamic Front one. Then from there, this is the other one, which is called US Army Joint Warfighting Assessment. These are the ones that they didn't actually do supposedly because of the coronavirus. But it tells you what each one of them is about, okay? Like improve readiness, improve force readiness. What are they expecting? Who is the enemy is my question. Who are they getting ready for? The next one is this, Sabre Strike. Exercise Sabre Strike 17, an annual combined joint exercise conducted various locations throughout the Baltic region and Poland. Combined training prepares allies and partners to respond more to regional crises and meet their own security needs by improving the security of borders and countering threats. And the other one, Exercise Swift. Swift response. Hundreds of British personnel arrive in Croatia. 600 personnel from 16 air assault brigades and the 11 infantry brigade in Croatia to exercise swift response. Train alongside American and French allies with 25 countries in total supporting or deploying on the exercise. British Army Royal Air Force will also contribute 4 Chinooks, 4 Wildcat and 6 Apache helicopters to the exercise. Will include more than 7,000 personnel, 1,000 of them parachuting, 300 vehicles, 40 aircraft. Who exactly is it that they're getting ready for? And another one, joint exercise to test tactical forces in cold weather environment. US forces stationed in Europe will head north March 2nd to participate in Cold Response 2020. Biennial exercise hosted by Norway, focusing mostly on operations at the tactical level in cold winter. And these are just some that I've pulled up, as in a few in comparison to how many there is. And yes, I know that they do this training all the time. But apparently this one here is a major. And look at the name. Look at the name. Defender Europe 20. My question again, people. Who is this enemy that they're training for? on such a large scale? Surely the militaries can come home, they can fix up the roads. I know in many countries, military doesn't just mean hold a gun. They do a lot of different stuff. You'd kind of think that there's roads to fix, that there's infrastructure to fix, I'm sure there's a lot of things that they could do instead of waste people's fucking money and be tripsing here, there, and everywhere, training for what on such a large scale? I don't know, I'll leave it with you. That was Snoopy, yes, I'm babysitting. The question still being to me, who is the enemy that is so large? Who is the enemy? But anyway, something to ponder.